J.P. Morgan, a name synonymous with American banking, was more than just a banker. He was the banker of his era. His impact shaped the basic structure of the United States economy in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Whether considered heroic or controversial, it is firmly imprinted in economic history. Let's look at the life of the man behind the money. John Pierpont Morgan was born in Hartford, Connecticut in 1837 into a banking family. His father, Junius Spencer Morgan, was a well-known financier, and young J.P. was groomed from an early age to follow in his footsteps. After studying in Europe, Morgan developed a worldwide view of economics and finance, setting the framework for his future dominance in the banking industry. By the 1860s, J.P. Morgan had already established himself. He joined his father's firm and rapidly gained a reputation for his acute intelligence and no-nonsense commercial attitude. However, it wasn't until the late 19th century that Morgan rose to prominence, establishing an empire that would change the financial landscape. Morgan's ascent to prominence began with his role in major industry consolidations. Morgan sensed an opportunity in America's rising industrialization. One of his notable actions were to enable the formation of General Electric in 1892. He accomplished it by uniting Thomas Edison's General Electric and Thomson-Houston Electric Company. This was only the start. Morgan oversaw the development of U.S. Steel, the first billion-dollar firm in history. Morgan transformed the steel business by combining many steel companies under one roof, sending a strong statement that he was more than just a banker. He was a kingmaker in American industry. But Morgan's influence did not end there. He was instrumental in financing the expansion of the railroads, which were the foundation of the American economy at the time. His influence in this sector grew so huge that he once controlled over 5,000 miles of track. J.P. Morgan dominated the American economy by controlling transportation, but he also acted as a stabilizing force during financial crises, ensuring the nation's economic stability, while orchestrating key mergers. His defining moment occurred during the Panic of 1907, a major banking crisis that threatened to devastate the whole U.S. economy. Without a central bank, the Federal Reserve would not be founded until 1913. The country relied on Morgan for assistance. He moved quickly, personally rallying bankers to supply liquidity and stabilize the markets. He even confined a bunch of them in his library until they agreed on his proposal. His decisive action is credited with sparing the economy from utter collapse, consolidating his position as the de facto central banker of the United States. Speaking of influential figures, if you're interested in Donald Trump's career story, be sure to check out the next video right after this one. Morgan, however, was not without criticism. His immense power over the economy and the government sparked worry. Many people accused him of creating monopolies, restricting competition, and exerting excessive power. The government did take note. Morgan was asked to testify before the Pujo Committee, which was looking into the consolidation of power on Wall Street just a year before he died in 1912. His renowned defense? "I owe the public nothing." His supremacy raised arguments about the ethical implications of such financial control. Was he a capitalist stabilizer or a robber baron who gained himself at the expense of the common people? Historians are still grappling with this subject today. J.P. Morgan died in 1913, signaling the end of an era. His influence extended beyond the banking sector. He shaped financial institutions such as J.P. Morgan & Co. and U.S. Steel, which have remained the foundations of the American economy for decades. His efforts to stabilize financial crises laid the foundation for the ultimate establishment of the Federal Reserve, guaranteeing that future crises would not be dependent on the acts of a single man. Today, Morgan's legacy is both appreciated and contested. He exerted enormous authority while also contributing to the development of contemporary American capitalism. Whether viewed as a financial savior or a monopolistic tyrant, there is no doubt that J.P. Morgan altered the course of American history forever. Finally, J.P. Morgan was more than a man. He was an institution, a natural force who redefined what it meant to be a banker and a titan. That's it for today's video. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates.